Hello Taurus, Elsie here to do your reading. It is for the week ahead. How are you, my friends? I hope you're well. I'm feeling a little bit better, so I'm back at it. And yeah, we're a little bit late this week, but I will get these to you before next week arrives. Hopefully, I'm going to keep my fingers crossed. Thanks so much for clicking here, Taurus. I appreciate you. I've got this Oracle deck that we're going to use this week. I usually use the Oracles just for the overall feel for next week, and then we're going to use some tarot. We're going to get some details on it and find out what the Oracles mean, because that's really the overall energy for the week. Taurus, if you've never been here before, welcome, and I hope that you will stay. If you've been here before, thanks for coming back. And at the end of this video, I'm going to tell you about how to book a private read with me, and also if you're interested in looking at the extension, then you can do that. What's going on? Oh my god, everything's falling all over the place. I'll tell you about the extension at the end of the video. Okay, first one we've got here is a period of prosperity and abundance. But look, you saw that whole mess, Taurus. I have a feeling that it has not been easy. I feel like it shows up in a bit of a hot mess way. It says, this is your period of prosperity. Look, this could be your period of prosperity after the hot mess is over. Maybe you're exiting an old cycle that wasn't very organized. Tell me more about Taurus. We've got Inkpot. It says problems to be resolved. Okay, well, look at that. I'm going to say that whole slide that we had of the cards here was an indication that whatever was not working out for you is going to be working out for you. Things are sliding into shape here. We've got taking a vacation physically or mentally in the hammock here. All right, bottom of the deck, what do we have? We have the yoke. It says, feeling tied down or frustrated. We have a leg. It says, stepping into a new experience. So it does feel, Taurus, like you are stepping into a new experience here. Oh, look, in October. I love it. All right, so I feel like you are stepping into a new cycle here, Taurus. So look, October the 4th, and I think today is the 2nd or the 3rd. It might be the 3rd when you get it. We are heading into a full moon in Aries. The full moon in Aries comes up on the 4th of October, and so this is a time of letting things go. It's also the closing of cycles, so this all kind of is on point and makes sense to me. Tell me more about Taurus. What else do we need to know? Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, and Jupiter. Tell me about Taurus. So prosperity and abundance, Taurus, is what it looks like is showing up here. Some sort of problem is about to be resolved, and it's going to allow you to just finally rest physically or mentally here. Maybe you were feeling tied down or feeling tied to something that now you have finally let go of, because the yoke is the horse, is tied to the yoke, right? Or the horse is yoked and then tied to a fence. So it feels like maybe you were frustrated that something wasn't going anywhere, or that you felt tied down to something. We'll talk about that in a little bit here. Tell me about Taurus. Tell me about bread. Back in the day, the hippies used to call money bread, right? We've got the 9 of Wands here. So it does really feel like a period of prosperity is about to begin here for you, Taurus. We've got the 3 of Pentacles. Problems are resolved. It looks like you're going to be able to build some sort of new foundation, or help is on the way. Oh, hang on. Help is on the way. I'll be there as fast as I can. I'm clairaudient, and so music as it comes to me always means something for me. So it feels like help is on the way, or this is maybe a group of friends, or a collaborative group for you, a cooperative group, but it feels like something that possibly had spilled over. I think that other people are coming to help you clean it up. We've got the Queen of Wands. Yeah, so it tells me here that you've been doing a lot of stuff that maybe has exhausted you, because this is, the Queen of Wands is, above all else, is very resilient, but is also very independent. So, Taurus, it feels like you have been, you've been taking on a lot by yourself and doing it all by yourself. And so I feel like whatever this prosperous time is, it does feel like it could be money after a hard time, or maybe it's a job for you. Maybe it feels like it is something that has to do with abundance and prosperity. I'm going to put down just 2 more cards here so we can talk about what's coming up in the following weeks. Look at this. The Wheel of Fortune is here, and the Hanged Man. Things are out of the stall. That's what it looks like. We are no longer stalled. It feels like you've got your perspective. Things are about to change. We've got the little owl up in the right-hand corner. And I think that this feeling of being tied down or frustrated was like something was stalled. I don't think anything is stalled now. Venus is going into Libra, I think, on the 13th, and I feel like something is moving forward here, and it does feel like it might be, it could be to do with money, but something that you feel is very abundant or prosperous. So that could mean a lot of things to a lot of you, right? Whatever the area is that you're looking at right now in your life, that's what I'm talking about. Tell me about the Nine of Wands, please, because the Nine of Wands is a place where you've been carrying a lot of maybe trauma, or you're almost at the end of a really heavy cycle. It feels like you've conquered things one after another, and now you're about to see some relief or see your abundance here. We've got the Four of Swords. Something is about to heal itself, Taurus. That's what it looks like here. We've got the Eight of Swords. I think that you're a little bit cynical, because Taurus is. I feel like you might be a little bit cynical because of all that you've gone through already. And we've got the Three of Wands. But look, the future is shaping up to be much easier, much better. It's blooming, I want to say. And of course, this is a Halloween deck, so we're going to see a lot of owls. But again, I see another owl. Something is about to transform. It's like an old cycle is dying or ending, and something new is about to happen. Look, you've got your back to the past, and I feel like you're headed toward the future here. There is a new path that's opening for you here, and it does say here, a period of prosperity is about to show up here. The Eight of Swords tells me that I feel like you still are balancing sort of on, can I trust this? Like, I don't feel like you feel as though you can trust it, because Taurus, when you've been through a lot of things or a lot of trauma or hardship back after back, like back to back hardship, it can be hard to believe that things are actually beginning to heal. But I think that they are. And I think that part of this, in the middle of the week, I think you're going to realize or recognize, Taurus, that you really do have people or a person, I think it's people, I think it's more than one, who really are on your side and want to see you resolve something, or want to just sort of have your back or give you support while you resolve something on your own. So it feels like, remember at the very beginning when all the cards fell over? I feel like something here is like you can see that this ink pot has poured out here. It fell over, and I want to say that that it's not the worst thing that could ever happen. Yes, ink stains, I would say, but I feel like it's something that you learn to resolve in some type of way. The Three of Pentacles tells me that you do have a community around you, or possibly you will find in the week ahead that there are people, whether you know them or not, Taurus. Look, this could be like something happened terrible with your bank account and the bank manager's helping you figure it out. It feels like you are going to have help that's on the way. I'll be there as fast as I can. That's what I heard, those lyrics. And so the Three of Pentacles tells me that there is some sort of group of people, a soul tribe, maybe people that are cooperative and collaborative, whether you know them or not, that are coming in to help you. So I feel like some sort of problem or something you perceived as being a problem. It could be like maybe you didn't have enough money. Maybe your finances were terribly impacted. But it could also be that something felt like it was that you were taking on something all by yourself and it seemed very, very big. We've got the Knight of Swords. We've got the Four of Pentacles in the reverse. And we've got the Knight of Pentacles. Do you know what this feels like? It feels like that something here is about to be revealed. And when I see the Four of Pentacles in the reverse, to me, that's vulnerability. It feels like somebody maybe from your soul tribe, or maybe someone who you see as a bit of a hard nose or a hard ass, is going to come in and give you a little bit of kindness, I want to say. The Knight of Swords is here. And I think that the reason that you see this person as a bit of a hard ass is because I think that they speak the truth, and sometimes the truth can be hard to hear. And so this person, who I feel has been shut off and shut down, is about to show you vulnerability. So we could be talking about somebody who maybe you have feelings for, or maybe somebody who you thought was moving too slow. The Knight of Pentacles is here, but the ink pot is telling me that something here is being resolved. So it does feel like maybe somebody, if they were from a social group or a friend group here, it feels like something is coming to the surface, or somebody's going to be opening up to you just a little bit more and going to be saying things like being more forward and saying what they mean, instead of making you wonder what's going on underneath this Knight of Pentacles energy that is moving really, really slow. I feel like you have been under a lot of pressure to get a lot of things done on your own. I think that you're making it look really easy here, Taurus, but it feels like with the Queen of Wands that you're trying to be resilient. It says here, taking a vacation physically or mentally. Maybe possibly you had to lay down, right? And just take some time for you, or just disconnect disconnect from work. In the hammock could mean you went to the cabin. It could mean you went, that you just disconnected from things that you were carrying, because the Queen of Wands does carry a lot of things. We've got Temperance here. It is time for you to steady yourself. It's time for you to heal, because there is some sort of moment of alchemy that is going to be showing up here for you. We do have the Knight of Cups. Well, look at that. Very interesting. And we do have the Lovers in reverse. So I feel like somebody here doesn't really understand what this means. I'm going to say that there is somebody in the middle of the week who becomes very vulnerable with you, or is contacting you more, or is saying more things. The Knight of Swords is the one that's going to blurt it out. Maybe somebody is not tiptoeing around you. The Knight of Pentacles, they're not tiptoeing around you anymore. They're becoming quite open with you. This could be someone, as I said, maybe they're at the place of work, maybe they're at the bank, maybe they are somebody who is in your friendship group. And we have Temperance here. I feel like at the end of the week, it feels like somebody here brings in balance romantically for some of you. This could be, the Knight of Cups is, of course, passive energy, which means that it took quite a long time for it to get here. But it does feel like it has something to do with the heart space. Now, the Lovers is in the reverse. So I'm not going to say this person is full on choosing you just yet. And also, maybe they haven't really made heads or tails of what they think is happening in this connection yet. If it has to do with a connection for you. I think for some of you, though, it probably has to do with something that you've been carrying for a while. It's probably something to do with your finances. So maybe you are going to finally get that job. Something is going to move out of your way that's going to make something financially easier for you. But it feels like for those of you who are looking at this as a romantic reading, it does feel like you will be getting some sort of reciprocal energy now. Somebody here is not holding back any longer. It's the moment of alchemy where the Knight of Cups comes into play, and the Lovers is here, but it's in the reverse. So somebody's coming in carefully. The Knight of Cups is very sweet. That person is probably going to circle you for a bit before they come in and talk with you. They're not the person who's going to be bold and big like fire. They're not going to, this isn't the Knight of Wands. This is a Knight of Cups. This is more slow and sweet, right? We do have the Hanged Man energy and the Wheel coming up, and that is through the rest of October here. It feels like something here is about to change for you, Taurus. It feels like you've been feeling stuck or feeling in Groundhog Day, and I think the last time I did a reading and talked about Groundhog Day, a lot of you came up and said, yeah, it's like nothing is going on. What is going on? Well, here's your change. It feels like something is about to expand here, Taurus. There is, I looked up at the timer just now and it said 12:12. So you might want to look that up, and that might mean something for you. But it feels like something's about to change in divine timing. And the reason that it wasn't moving is because it wasn't time for it to move. It feels like you were supposed to be in this place of trying to get a perspective of why things were quiet. I feel like you were supposed to make use of the pause. You were supposed to make use of this time. But I feel like there's going to be some things that you might have to sacrifice in order for this divine timing to come in. Because look, it's the C word, right? The Wheel of Fortune is change. And Taurus, you don't really like change. I think your change is coming in October, and it feels like a place where you were stuck. I feel like here you are stepping into a new experience or a new cycle. Let's talk about the change. What change is coming up for Taurus, please? We've got the Strength card, we've got the Seven of Wands, and we've got the Nine of Swords. It feels like somebody who was worried or sort of felt like their back was against the wall, or felt like they felt a little bit defensive about the situation. This person was holding back. It could be you, absolutely. I think that maybe you were wondering why things weren't working the way you wanted them to. The Four of Cups is here. I feel like the universe is waiting for you to get out of your comfort zone, Taurus. I feel like the Wheel of Fortune shows up here in divine timing. It's time for you to get out of a comfort zone here, but also look, somebody's offering the cup and another person is sleeping on it. Taurus, I feel like somebody's been circling you. I want to say there is somebody who's been circling you, and maybe you haven't been noticing them because they're not in your face. They're not love bombing you. They're not in your face. They're not like hardcore pursuing you. I feel like this is someone who is sweet, someone who is kind, someone who is very careful. I feel like this person is somebody who is trying to figure out if you're interested or not first. It feels like there is a little bit of worrisome energy, and somebody here who kind of is, who has some maybe some boundaries in place or feels a little bit blocked from moving forward here because they're not really sure how you feel about the situation. They might have been circling you and maybe you're not giving them attention. And maybe that's what it is. It feels like it could be something like that. Tell me about this new experience that Taurus is stepping into in October. We've got the Knight of Wands. There's the Knight of Wands. We've got the Ten of Wands. And we've got the Eight of Wands. Taurus, you know what I think? I think that if this is somebody who's been circling you here, it does feel like you have dropped your need for the Knight of Wands, for someone to come in aggressively and pursue you aggressively and pursue you with fire. I feel like you've changed the way that you look at pursuit. It feels like you're in a new cycle of the Eight of Wands and somebody is pursuing you in a very different way because look, the Ten of Wands is here next to the Knight, and I feel like you're no longer into instability. You know that when fire shows up, fire is going to burn out. And it doesn't always equate to that, Taurus, but I just want you to be aware and wary of it, right? The Ten of Wands tells me that there is a burden that is about to be dropped. I feel like you were sort of tied to the thought of, well, if they don't pursue me aggressively, I'll say, how do I know that they're interested in me? Well, maybe sometimes it's not that. Maybe sometimes you have to wait for the job. Maybe sometimes your employer is watching you or testing you or giving you other things to do to see your capabilities before they decide to promote you. It's not always going to be in your face and immediate, right? Sometimes it's going to circle you first, and that's the indication of the Wheel of Fortune here. We're going to put down 3 cards. We're going to go into the extended. If you'd like to be there, please go to the top of the comment section. There is one pinned comment. Please check that comment for the ability to be able to purchase this one off if you'd like to do that. Or if you would like to come into the membership area where you can get at least a minimum of 4 extendeds every month, you can do that with us. If you're interested in a private read, please click the link to Hypsee. You can look at my pricing and my timetable. I am reading live as well. Sorry, my brains are still a little bit on hold here. Let's put down 3 cards, find out what's going on. We've got the High Priestess, we've got the Fool energy, and we've got Justice. Oh my gosh, look at this. October, Justice, Libra, October, Libra season. Taurus, I feel like there is some sort of exciting level up is what it feels like. The High Priestess is here, and I think that you know it, but I think that you were ignoring it. And so it feels like it feels like you were ignoring it, right? The Four of Cups here. It feels like there is a cup coming, and that cup doesn't have to be romance, understand. It could just be emotional happiness. The beginning of a new cycle, which is what we're seeing here, is that there's a beginning of a new cycle. The High Priestess is here. I think you knew this intuitively, that you knew this, but you're like, nah, that's not going to happen for me. Stuff like that doesn't happen for me. And then the door opens. And I think you're going to be a little bit surprised, but I think that this door that's opening here is bringing restoration or the truth of something. Someone is about to make something right, or something is about to be made right, or come into harmonious sort of energy for you, showing up probably for the rest of the month, but we're going to talk about this as the week ahead. This is going to be for the rest of the month. It feels like you're going to be going through a series of changes, and I think that the Nine of Swords is here because it worries you just a little bit because you're not a fan of change. But look at this. Three of Cups is here. You're going to have reason to celebrate about something. We're going to go into the extended. We're going to talk about all of that. If you'd like to be there, please show up there by looking at the pinned comment. And if this is where we part, that's cool, because I'll be back, because I'm always back. You guys take care of yourselves and have a beautiful weekend. Bye-bye.